Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 10 a.m. calendar for traffic bench trials in State Court of Clayton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward, and we're going to get started with the call of the calendar. If you hear your name, please let me know that you're here and you're ready for trial, or you're ready to speak with the state to see if there's something that you all might be able to work out about your case. The first case on the calendar is Yosaniki Sharice Bailey, 2023 TK 02911.
Hi, yes, ma'am, I'm present.
All right. So Miss Bailey, you have a speeding violation, 26 to 30 miles per hour over the limit. You also have a seatbelt violation. Did you wish to go forward with a trial? Wait, first let me check in with the state and see if they're ready and prepared to go forward.
Okay.
Miss Solicitor Andrews.
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. I'll see if I can find
Right.
it.
Yeah, she may have stepped away to get something. So as soon as the solicitor checks in, then we'll be able to go forward. There's someone here with an iPhone. It just says iPhone on the screen. If you can, please change to your actual name, first and last name. If you don't know how, then unmute and I'll walk you through it.
Judge Hayward, Andrew should be in the courtroom.
I'm sorry, Miss Arnold, you said Solicitor Andrews is in the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay.
What I got to,
I see.
Miss?
All right, so for iPhone, so what you're gonna do is touch the screen next to your name, and you should see three dots come up in a blue box. Click on that, and it should pull down a menu that says rename. Click on rename. There's gonna be a box that comes up. Put your name in that box and hit enter. All right. Solicitor Andrews, the first name on the calendar is Yasaniki Sharice Bailey. Ms. Bailey has two cases and she is present.
Yes, Your Honor. The state has had an opportunity. Good morning. I've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Bailey, and that's going to be an opportunity today.
Okay, so Ms. Bailey, you're ready for your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Just trying to figure out. Okay. All right. So Ms. Bailey, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So Ms. Bailey, you're before the court on 2023 TK 02911 for speeding 26 to 30 miles per hour over the limit. You're also before the court on 2023 TK 02912 for seatbelt violation. Solicitor Andrews, you said that you all have worked out a plea. Can you tell me the terms of that agreement?
Oh, yes, the first speeding is going to be reduced to 58 miles per hour. The fine is going to be a $100 fine, and count two will be not cross. She did indicate that she will need some time to pay the fine, and I do have her email.
All right. So I don't know what's going on in the courtroom, but can y'all hear the static? Am I the only one hearing the static from the courtroom? Okay. So Solicitor Andrews, if you will ask the deputy, I guess, who's running tech, if we can maybe adjust it a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on because it was working fine the other day.
Yeah, I just called IT, try to see if I can get someone up, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can hear you and I can understand you. It's just very a lot of static in the background. So, Miss Bailey, you've already taken the oath by entering a plea of guilty to count one with the reduced speed of 58 miles per hour over the limit. And no pros on the second case, 2023 TK 02912. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses. subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Ms. Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis, Solicitor Andrews.
February 21st, 2023, in Clayton County, Georgia, Ms. Saniki Bailey was speeding on, just a second, was detected by a LiDAR. And she was not wearing a seatbelt on Highway 138 Southeast and near Roundtree Road, located in Cotton County. And she was clocked at 71 miles per hour in 45 mile per hour zone.
All right. So, Ms. Bailey, the fine is going to be $100. With the surcharges, that'll be $151.50. I give 30 days because you're not at the courthouse right now. Do you need more than 30 days? I can give you up to 60 days to pay the fines and fees.
I think I should be fine with the 30 days.
All right, so I just caution you, just make sure that you pay them before the 30th day, because if you don't, then an arrest warrant could issue for failure to complete your suspended sentence. You can come in to 9151 Terra Boulevard to pay on the second floor, or you can pay online or by phone. But if you choose to pay online or by phone, you want to be able to pay the entire amount through that process, okay? We're going to submit your email address to the clerk's office. There, Miss Wright or one of the other assistant clerks is going to send you back your paperwork through email and information about how to pay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to need you to slow down.
I know. I have actually. It's
Okay,
been a
good,
year.
because
I
it
did
helps in a lot of ways. All right. So just make sure you slow down, because you always want to make sure you give yourself time for the other crazy person that's out there driving.
That's right. That's right.
All right. All right. Take care, ma'am.
You
Excuse
as well.
me.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh,
I do
but,
need
hold
her
on.
email address.
Solicitor, Andrews, you have her email, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. I do have
Okay.
that.
You can just send that to Miss Wright. All right, thank you. So Miss Bailey's email address, Miss Solicitor Andrews gonna send that to you, Miss Wright. Thank you.
Am I good to
Business on
leave
its
the
way
meeting,
up,
or
Judge.
I'm sorry.
am I okay to leave the meeting, or do I stay towards the
Well,
end?
actually, it'd probably just be easier. The only thing I ask is, you know how to use the chat function?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you chat your email address? That way, Solicitor Andrews has it in her office, but I don't want her to have to go back or anything. Can you chat it to Miss Wright? So when you go to the chat function, the first thing you'll see is everyone in blue. Click on that, and the first name that should come up is Amanda Wright, R-Y-T-E. Just go ahead and send her your email address. Just check it, make sure everything is correct on that.
Okay, and I just sent it to her.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
You as well.
All right, bye-bye.
Judge Ben is on his way up to check the sound, because we can't hear, and the court reporter can't hear Ms. Andrews that well inside the courtroom.
All right,
It's crackly.
let me call the rest of the calendar, because
Okay.
we can hear the rest of the people. We just can't hear the courtroom. All right, Melinda Gaskins. Melinda Gaskins. Last call for Melinda Gaskins. All right, failure to appear for Melinda Gaskins. Next is Martina Linnell Hairston. Martina Linnell Hairston. Martina Linnell Hairston.
Judge, I believe the deputy said earlier that she was in the courtroom.
Okay.
It's actually the male Harrison. I just spoke with him.
Harrison is in the courtroom. All right, so FTA on Hairston, Hairston, and then Harrison, Daniel Curtis Harrison is in the courtroom.
Yes, and that's going to be a plea, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak with him.
Look at you, Solicitor Andrews, you're on it. Thank you. Nicholas Brandon Hooton. Nicholas Brandon Hooton. Last call for Nicholas Brandon Hooton. FTA. Robert Andrew McDonough. Robert Andrew McDonough. Last call for Robert Andrew McDonough. FTA. Angel Anthony Rodriguez. Angel Anthony Rodriguez. Last call for Rodriguez. FTA. And Peaches Lashante Young. Peaches Lashante Young. Peaches Lashante
I'm
Young.
here.
Okay, Miss Young. Miss Young, I'm gonna need you to get court ready. Do something with your bonnet, put some clothes on where you don't have to sit right in the middle of the camera so I don't see nothing. Take about 5 minutes, go wash your face, brush your teeth, and come back. Like you really want to get this done, like you want to operate in a business manner. Okay, do that for me, please. Thank you. All right, so Ben, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Johnson, you're fine. We'll hold on and we'll get to you in a moment, okay? Okay, there's someone with an iPhone who's asking if they need their camera on. No, not right now. But you can. But what's your name for me?
My name is Nicole Johnson.
Spell that for me.
Nicole Johnson, Johnsson.
All right, so Ms. Johnson, just hold on a second. I think that you may be on the next calendar. So we'll get to you in a moment. All right, we're just gonna take a minute for tech. We're having some technical issues in the courtroom. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, are you having issues with sound? What's
I
the,
hear you clearly, Ben, but
Okay.
when Solicitor Andrews first came up, it was really bad. Lots of I guess it wasn't even feedback, it was just staticky.
static? But it's sounding okay at the moment. I switched the microphone around.
It sounds perfect.
Okay, good.
Thank you. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
All lanes of the connector north at 17 are shut down for this wreck. All lanes were halting all commuting.
All right, Solicitor Andrews, I know you have officers waiting. You ready to go forward? All right, for anyone in the courtroom, the names I have called for the 10 a.m. calendar, we have already completed Miss Bailey's case. The next case is Gaskins, Hairston, Harrison. I understand, Mr. Harrison, that you are ready for a plea. Houghton, McDonough, Rodriguez, and Young. And Miss Young is present by video. All right, so when Solicitor Andrews is ready, we can bring up Mr. Harrison.
Yes, Your Honor, it's
All
ready.
right, Mr. Harrison, come on up to the computer for me, or as directed by the deputies.
Right here. Thank you.
All right, sir, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Harrison, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Daniel Curtis Harrison, 2023 TK 02891 for speeding 21 to 25 over the limit. Solicitor Andrews, you all have an agreement. What are the terms of the agreement?
Yes, the speed is going to be reduced to 59 miles per hour. And the fine is going to be a $100 fine suspended.
All right. So, Mr. Harrison, I'm sorry. Did I swear you? I think I did. Okay, so you're before the court on case 2023 TK 02891, entering a plea of guilty to speeding, the reduced speed of 59. By doing so, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Harrison?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On February 19, 2023, on Terra Boulevard near Battle Creek Road, Mr. Harrison was speeding 66 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. This was detected by a LiDAR with the officer doing routine patrol in the area. And the recommendation is a $100 fine suspended with the speed reduced to 59 miles per hour.
Okay, so Mr. Harrison, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to pay a fine in the amount of $100. The solicitor's office and you all have agreed that that fine will be suspended at this time, so you are free to go. Just please, sir, slow down for me.
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
All right, thank you. Be careful.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're welcome.
All right, and Miss Young, is the state ready on Young?
Yes, Your Honor. I haven't had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Young yet, though.
All right. Do you have any officers you need to release so far?
Yes, Officer Milligan, if you have no further cases, you may be excused.
I have one on the 11 o'clock calendar.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And if I could be added to a breakout room with Miss Young.
So Miss Young, you have the option of going forward with a trial or speaking with the state to determine whether there's an agreement that you all can make that would be satisfactory to you. Do you wish to speak with the state at this time? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, ma'am. I think you're muted.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to put you in this, and Andrews, in a breakout room. Once you all come out of the breakout room, you all can tell me what you've decided, okay?
Okay.
Put you in breakout room number 3. All right, and so for those of you who are waiting, if you've come in for the 11 o'clock calendar, we're actually moving really quickly through the 10 o'clock calendar, but I don't want anybody who had notice of 11 to feel like we're moving faster than, and we're going to leave them out if they're on time. And so we'll, once we resolve the 10 a.m. calendar at 11 o'clock, we'll call the next calendar and we'll be ready to proceed with your cases. If you wish to speak with the solicitor, I may after she's spoken with Miss Young and we've resolved her case, then there may be time between the calendars if you're here early and you wish to speak with the solicitor, but you're not required to, and you can still go forward with the trial if you wish to. All right, Miss Young, you should, okay, she went into the breakout room. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna take a brief pause. Thank you.
Your
I
Honor,
don't,
Yes, Lieutenant Andrews?
I had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Young, and that's going to be a plea.
Ms. Young, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
yes,
All right, you can put your hand down, ma'am. You're before the court on 2023 TK 02940 Peaches LaShante Young for speeding 26 to 30 miles per hour. What are the terms of the agreement, Attorney Andrews?
Yes, it's going to be 12 months pay only probation and 15 hours of community service. The state is going to ask if the probation supervision fees can be waived.
Okay. All right, so let me just repeat it. 12 months pay only probation, 15 hours of community service.
That is correct, and the probation will terminate upon completion of the 15 hours of community service.
Sounds good. All right, so Ms. Young, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to speeding in a school zone 26 to 30 miles per hour over the limit. By entering this plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things?
just now.
All right, so I'm going to accept your plea. I'll sentence you to 12 months probation, pay only probation, which means that it will terminate as soon as you have completed 15 hours of community service through the probation through the probation and report those 15 hours. You just follow the guidelines from probation about where you can and cannot do your probation service. I'm also going to waive the supervision fees, and this, as I said, will terminate as soon as you have completed them. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. James. She's our probation expert, and she's going to explain everything that you need to know about your probation obligations. The quickest way to get in trouble is to not report for probation and to not complete your requirements, okay?
Just now.
All right, so I'm gonna put you and Miss James in breakout room number 5. Once you've had an opportunity to speak with Miss James, you do not have to come back to the main room. Just go ahead and make sure that you're completing all of your assignment, okay?
Just now. Thank y'all.
All right, and Miss Young, slow down. There's babies in those school zones and they don't pay attention to traffic rules or anything. They'll walk right out into the street and think you can't hit them. All
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
go on
ma'am.
to the breakout room with Miss James.
Excuse me, Judge, was this a NOLO or a guilty plea?
Is it a guilt? I had a guilty plea.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. She's not NOLO eligible.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Wright. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want anyone thinking that we've started and I'm calling the FTAs before they can get in here. This is the 10 o'clock calendar. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to call that calendar. If there's anyone here from the 11 o'clock calendar who wishes to speak with the solicitor before the calendar starts, you can do that. Otherwise, we'll just call the calendar and determine if both sides are ready for trial or plea. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes at the 11 o'clock calendar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Johnson, can you take your chat function, please?
just because I have to be transparent, one of the people on the 11 o'clock calendar reached out and said that they need to know how to present evidence for the case. I did respond, which the response was, we can't tell you that. We can explain procedure, but we're not able to advise you as to how to present your case. Everybody's entitled to bring an attorney with them or have an attorney appointed at arraignment. But if you're here and you don't know how to present your case, we cannot advise you because it's unlawful for us to do so. We can tell you, I will explain as much as possible the procedure of how the case will go, and I'll point to you when it's your time to present something. However, I can't tell you how to present it within the terms of the rules of procedure and the rules of evidence.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
are you supposed to be muted or are you speaking to everyone?
I'm speaking to everybody. I had replied
Okay.
by chat. I just didn't want, I don't do ex parte. So I just wanted to make clear that everybody was aware that I'll explain to you how the case is going to go and who presents when. But I can't tell you how to get your evidence into the record of the court, and I can't tell you what evidence to put into the record of the court. I can just offer you the opportunity at the appropriate time. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. This is the 11 a.m. calendar for traffic bench trials. In a moment, I'm going to call the calendar. And when I do, please respond and let me know that you are here. Failure to let me know that you are here could result in a failure to appear designation. When I call your name, I'm going to ask if you are present and if you're ready to go forward with trial. And then I'll ask the solicitor. And if you all want to speak with the solicitor at some point to determine whether there's an agreement that you all can come to resolve the case, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll proceed with trial. All right, the first name on the calendar is Joseph Lewis Anthony. Joseph Lewis Anthony.
Here.
All right. Mr. Anthony, let me put your name on the screen. Ms. Andrews, are you all ready for trial in the Anthony case?
The state is not, Your Honor, and I have not had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Anthony.
The state is not ready?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Then that's a no process.
That is correct, Your Honor. I do apologize. I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Anthony, your case has been no process. You're free to go at this time. All right.
It's been what now?
Mr. Anthony, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You turned your video off. Okay, so your case, the state is not ready to proceed with trial. So your case at this time is going to be no process, which means that they're not going to move forward with the prosecution. So you're free to go at this time.
All right.
All right, just be careful, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Mareka Camelia Burke. Mareka Camelia Burke. Last call for Mareka Camelia Burke. All right, there's someone still on iPhone who's, if you have iPhone on the screen as your designation, please tell me your name.
Nicole Johnson.
No, I see you, Miss Johnson. I already changed your name. There's another one.
Okay.
All right.
Terrell Smith.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Terrell Smith.
Terrell Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Next case on the calendar. Burke is an FTA. Derek LaShun Craft. Derek LaShun Craft.
Present.
All right, Mr. Craft. Is the state already on Craft?
That is correct, Your Honor. And I have not had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Kraft if he would like to speak to me.
All right, so y'all are prepared for trial?
That is correct. The officer is available. That's correct.
All right, so Mr. Kraft, would you like to speak with the state to see if you can resolve your case short of trial, or do you wish to go forward with a trial?
Can I speak to somebody before we go forth with trial?
Okay, so I'll give you an opportunity to have a breakout room with the state, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Willard Alton Green Jr.
And Your Honor, he is in the courtroom and the state's going to be submitting a null pros for both of his cases.
All right, so Mr. Green, Willard Alton Green Jr., you are free to go at this time. Both of your cases will be no pros. Thank you, sir. And please be careful. All right, next on the calendar is Nicole Denise Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has also had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Johnson, and I have submitted a null pros for that case.
All right, Ms. Johnson's case will be no pros. Ms. Johnson, you're free to go at this time. Thank you.
Thank you too, Judge.
All right, take care and be safe, please.
You too.
Nathaniel Miles. Mr. Miles has two cases. Nathaniel Miles. Last call for Nathaniel Miles. All right, FTA. All right, Chauncey Demetria Moore.
Your Honor, Mr. Moore is currently in court. I just need to speak with the officer on this, and that's going to determine how the state's going to proceed.
Okay, is the officer present? You need a breakout room?
That is correct. He's available. He's just waiting to log on. I just need to speak with him first.
Oh, okay, all right. And then Smith, Terrell Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Smith, may I see you, please? And before you turn on that camera, make sure you are camera ready, please. I won't see anything inappropriate. All right, now I just see, oh, there you are. All right, so Mr. Smith, you have speeding offense. Is the state ready to proceed on Terrell Smith?
Yes, sure. And the officer is present. The state's ready to proceed.
All right, so Mr. Smith, you have the option of speaking with the state to determine if there's a plea that you all can agree to, or you can go forward with a trial.
Can I still go forward with the trial if we don't come to agreement with the plea?
Yes, sir.
And I'd like to speak to the state, please.
All right. So, two things. Miss Andrews is going to call up the officer on the Moore case. Is that correct?
That is correct. I just need to speak with him.
And then I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Kraft and then a breakout room with Mr. Smith. Okay. So if we could just mute our devices for a few minutes, and then we'll be back in a moment. I'm going to put, just let me know, Solicitor Andrews, when you're ready for the breakout room. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right, everybody. We'll be right back.
Your Honor, you can add me to the breakout room with Mr. Kraft.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
All right, one moment. Mr. Kraft, you're going to see an invitation pop up for the breakout room in a moment. So when you see that invitation, if you'll just go click on that, and you should already also be able, even if it disappears from your screen, you should be able to get back out of the breakout room by doing the same thing. Just touch your screen and the instructions should pop up on the screen, okay? I'm going to put you and Solicitor Andrews in breakout room number 3. All right, the invitation should pop up, and I'll see you when you get back.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Kraft. It's gonna be a plea, and whenever the court's ready, I can be added with Mr. Smith.
All right, plea for Mr. Kraft. We'll do that in a moment, and then I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. Mr. Smith, I'm gonna add you to breakout room number 3. You'll see it pop up, Mr. Kraft. As soon as they come out of the breakout room, then we'll go ahead and take your plea. All
Yes, ma'am.
right. All righty. Mr. Smith, just go into the breakout room. Hey, Jones.
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
Good. Jones, text me your address so I can send
Okay.
you your parting gift.
All right, I will.
Man.
I was trying to catch you today, but I didn't know if you was gonna be if you were in their office today. But I'll still swing by though, of course.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my bestest deputy is off to new adventures. We are definitely going to miss him, but we're going to wish him well as he pursues newer and greater opportunities. And I am proud to have worked with him. So, thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, I'll be in touch. Don't you forget, you got to come back for the celebration in November or December. We'll send you an invitation.
All right, no problem. I will.
All right, take care of them babies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Yes.
That's gonna also be a plea for Mr. Smith. So any officers on for Smith as well as Kraft may be excused.
All righty. And then, did you have an opportunity to resolve more?
Yeah, the state's gonna null pros more. So I
All right.
see null pros for that.
Okay, I'll get that in a moment. So, Mr. Moore, your case is being no pros. You're in the courtroom. You're free to leave at this time. Thank you, sir. All right. So for Kraft, so Mr. Kraft, may I see you? Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true? You got to unmute for me.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're before the court on state of Georgia versus, it just went. Oh, wait, there we go. Derek LaShawn Kraft, 2023 TK 03060 for speeding 16 to 20 over. What is the agreement that you all have reached, Solicitor Andrews?
Yeah, sure. The speed is going to be reduced to 58 miles per hour, and it's going to be a $100 fine. I do believe Mr. Kraft indicated that he may need some additional time to pay.
No problem. All right, so Mr. Kraft, by entering the plea of guilty, the speed is going to be reduced 58 to 58 miles per hour, which will assist you with the Department of Driver Services and points. By entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up a right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence in your on your behalf to not incriminate yourself or present yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please. Oh, I'm sorry, the factual basis, please. I have the recommendation.
Yeah, sure. On February 20th, 2023, on Tower Boulevard near Central Avenue in Clayton County, an officer performing routine patrol, using his LiDAR, clocked a vehicle going 63 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. The officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, identified as Mr. Derek Kraft, and issued him a citation.
All right, so sir, the court is going to accept your plea and sentence you to pay a fine in the amount of $100 with the surcharges. It's going to be $151.50. And this is my understanding that you need the top of the range, so 60 days in which to pay. Is that good, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you, do you know how to use the chat function?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to need you to go onto the chat function. When you see everyone in blue, click on that, and the first name that comes up should be Amanda Wright, R-Y-T-E. Send Miss Wright your email address when you've typed it up and made sure it's correct, and send that off, and then you'll be free to go, okay, sir? And I'm just going to ask you to slow down.
Yes, ma'am. Say right.
Yes, it's Amanda is what you're looking for first because it goes by first names. So it should be one of the first names you see after everyone.
Yes, ma'am. I see it.
Okay, so if you click on that and then send Miss Wright your email address.
All righty, doing it now. All said and done, John.
All right, thank you. Please be safe.
Yes, ma'am. We do the same.
All right, thank you. All right, so Smith, Mr. Smith, Terrell Smith, let me see you,
Yes,
please.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I still just see your name. Do you just click on your video feed? There you go. All right. So your right hand for me, Mr. Smith. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Smith, you're before the court on 2023 TK 03041, Terrell J. Smith, speeding 21 to 25 miles per hour over the limit. Sir, it is my understanding that y'all have reached an agreement. Solicitor Andrews, what have y'all agreed to?
Yes, Your Honor, the speed is gonna be reduced to 59 miles per hour. And the fine, actually, he's gonna do 12 months, paid probation and 10 hours of community service. The probation shall terminate once he complete the 10 hours of community service. And the state is, requesting, if the probation supervision fees can be waived.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Smith, um, by entering a plea of guilty to with the reduced speed of 59, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On February 22nd, 2023, on Terra Boulevard near Southside Commercial Parkway, an officer performing routine patrol, using his LiDAR, clocked a vehicle going 70 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. The officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver identified as Mr. Tyrell Smith and issued Mr. Smith a traffic citation for speeding.
All right, so Mr. Smith, 12 months probation, pay only probation, which will terminate as soon as you have completed 10 hours of community service, per the guidelines and probation. And we'll go ahead and waive that fee. Just go ahead and get it done as quickly as possible. The quickest way to get in trouble is to not show up for your probation reports and not provide the information that is requested to complete your 10 hours of community service. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss James from probation. She's our probation expert, and she's going to explain everything that you need to know. You do not have to come back to the main courtroom. Once you've spoken with Miss James, just go ahead and complete whatever it is you need to complete, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Smith, I'm going to need you to slow way down, okay?
I was on my way to the hospital.
All right, what happened? You was having a baby?
No, I was having gout attack.
Okay, well, take care of your health. Drink lots of water, because that helps gout. According to one of my friends, she's always telling her mom that. Flush your system, because that helps with everything. And then take care of yourself, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So go into the breakout room with Miss James, and she's gonna get you signed up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You
All
have a
right.
good day.
You too, sir. Take care. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have completed the 11 o'clock calendar. If I'm not correct, let me know. But I think the courtroom is empty and we don't have anybody else still. So I'm going to hang out until Miss James and Mr. Smith have completed. But everybody else, if you don't have an essential function except for Miss James, you're free to go.
And
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, it
Yes.
says that you're requesting that I join breakout room 5. Is this correct?
Yeah, they're in breakout room 5.
So should I join it as well?
Oh no, they're fine. She'll sign him up.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right. So we'll shut it down once Miss James comes back and lets us know she's good. All right, Mr. Smith, go on into the breakout room for me.
Yes, ma'am.
You know how to do it? You got it? There you go. Wait. Yep, got it. All right, I'll be right back.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I was waiting for Mr. Smith and he wasn't in the same breakout room as me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me
It's okay.
fix it. I thought I put him in there.
I was in 5 and he didn't.
Hold on. I'm gonna put you in breakout 3.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Your Honor, I've signed everyone up for probation.
Thank you, Ms. James. Thank you, Ms. Martin. Thank you, everybody. We are done. Thank you so much. I'm signing.